So this last week has been trying to wrap my head around how to get back engaged with the house project. We kind of got hit with a standstill situation when the well became a big problem and the septic became a big problem. Those two events actually interrupted me from putting together a bedroom for my daughters. I had recently framed out this wall and this wall after fixing a problem there, and which that problem right there has kept us from making progress anywhere else. And so fixing that problem empowered us to start working on the girls' bedroom, and they desperately needed a bedroom. I started to pull electrical wires and start making decisions on where all the electrical outlets and switches are going to be. I'm going to need to pull down the ceiling, even though the ceiling already started pulling itself down for me. So I guess praise God for that. And you could see how the drywall is just coming undone from the studs. You know, why? I mean, who knows? But it's happening all throughout this whole area. So all this drywall needs to be replaced. So it's not like my heart's broken, like I knew I would have to do this, but dang, bruh. And so anyway, I was in the middle of fixing this room when everything started going bad with the well and the septic. And how I was going about the bedroom for my daughters is by chipping away at it one little bit at a time. I'll go to 84 lumber. I'll get enough lumber for like I bought enough lumber to frame the two walls. And then I bought, to do just the job I'm doing like that day kind of thing. Building that out and figuring out how to address the problem of the dang termite damage in the girls' bedroom, and it's honestly throughout the house, but at least it's kind of localized. It's kind of localized in this central area. But I'm looking at how to deal with all that stuff and how to, what am I going to do to address the termite / carpenter ant damage on the floor in the girls' bedroom. And that's what I'm focused on. And then the well / septic system interrupted that. And so that's where it found me. And now we're here in this situation, and there's some good news. And so we have right now specifically about $845 designated towards the well of $3,600 is what it's going to cost to fix the well. Interruption there. It's even better news than that. We're up to $1,730 raised out of $3,600. No, I believe there's a $20 donation, so it's $1,750 raised so far. So that's awesome, and figure I'd just let you know that. So since I've started making this video, more money has come in, and so thank God the well is on the way to being fixed. There you go. And so now I'm trying to kind of process exactly what it is that I'm supposed to be putting my hands to right now. And meanwhile, I'm building this YouTube channel, and I'm feeling really encouraged about it, man. And it isn't because I've been getting huge amounts of views or anything. It's just that I've been making content for a long time, and I've only just now really started making content on YouTube and making these style videos. I'm taking these videos, I'm posting the video files to Facebook too. So, because there's people who follow me on there and they might not see it if I only post to YouTube. But I'm making these for YouTube mainly. So if you want to go there, I will post a picture of the YouTube account that I'm using right now, so that if you're watching this on Facebook, you can go subscribe and hit the bell icon on YouTube. Hello, Willow. How you doing? You doing good, baby? You're such a good doggy. You're such a good girl. Yeah, you are. Hello, chicken. Hello, chicken. And a Luna. What? Luna? What are you doing? How you doing, sweetie? Luna. Luna, what you doing? You being good? You being good? What you smelling? What you sniffing? What you sniffing? Hey. Hey, you. There you puppies.
I love my puppies. I love my doggies. I love my doggies. Yes, you're a good doggy. You're such a good dog. What are y'all doing? There's some of the goodness right there. Look at the two buddies. Look at the two buddies.
So I found that there's been a pretty big change in the way that I approach problems these days. I've had a pretty big mindset shift happen over the course of the last few years, which makes this well situation a little interesting, and it's showing me some things in me that have changed in a really positive direction. So in the past, I thought about myself and my capabilities in a very limited way. Or whenever I would find problems, I would start searching for someone else to come fix the problem. Okay? And I tell you what, that is not a very American way, much less kingdom way of approaching problems. Okay? Because here's what I have come to see is that I am an American and not an Americant. You can't spell American without I can. Okay? So I am an American. See that? See that cheese there? You like that cheese? Let me know if you like that cheese in the comments, because we got it here, baby. But I'm an American, not an Americant. So we got that. But so when I start running into things, especially just having been carving on this project for so long, and just like, I've given up so many times, dude. Like, I have just given up from just pure demoralization so many times. And then I've just seen the grace of God come in the form of help, in the form of just all types of ways. All types of ways it's come in. And when I look at this well situation, I think the reason why I've been so slow to just default into fundraising mode, I've now entered into it. I've just done it because it's just become clear to me that is the capability that I possess to help me get through this trial. I used to lean into that immediately, like, here's a problem, let's raise funds, because that's how I was kind of somewhat, I don't want to say trained, but I guess that's kind of how I was trained, coming up as an intercessory missionary or whatever, and not exactly, because okay, I don't know who's watching this, but I spent the majority of my adult life, at least half of it, maybe a little more than half, in a movement that was marked by pretty much operating and living as a professional volunteer that had to raise our own funds to pay our bills so that we could do the work of the Lord. And that just looks like fundraising. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. That's how I would get my money for my family. It's how I would solve problems. And so when that problem arose, my instinctual training just over the years looks like doing a fundraiser, looking for someone to come help, pretty much. And now I found myself operating out of a more capable mindset, like a capability focused mindset, to where I can do this. And so my well has gone bad in the past. We've had problems multiple times with this same well, and I have dug my hands into that sucker and figured it the heck out, and called a friend to kind of help show me how things work. And our well had stopped working last year, and I called some friends, and because I have a basic understanding of how electricity works, just through working in, doing recording studio stuff, working building guitar pedals for a little bit there with Petty John, having a basic understanding of how electricity works, my friend was able to walk me through troubleshooting it and replacing a capacitor. It needed a capacitor replacement. And it ended up being a relatively inexpensive fix. Took me all day, but I was able to figure it out. And so I guess now I have found myself really slow to, even though some of you might have seen a few fundraisers, just believe me, the reason you've seen them is because the situation is overwhelming. And because my instincts have shifted over the years, particularly since having this house, it's one of the things that God has definitely worked together for my good and for our good, is he's put this thing in me to where I no longer look at myself as helpless. I now see myself as capable. Part of my one of my morning rituals. I have a morning ritual that I do right now, and I've been doing it for the last month or two. And it's my spirit, soul, body regimen. I do it every day, at least 5 days a week, if not more. I do the full 3-part regimen 5 days a week. On the weekends I go down to a 2-part regimen, but it's spirit, soul, and body. So I just get into the Word every day, first thing. I mean, I wake up. I might take Asher to school, but generally the first thing I do with the free time I have is I wake up, I put myself in front of the Word of God, in front of the Bible, and I allow my soul to feast on it like a steak for at least 30 minutes. But some days it goes up to 2 hours if I have the time. And then I do soul care, okay, which comes in the form of journaling, 3 pages a day, every day, no matter what, which I've been doing for 3 years. And then now I'm doing body, where I go into the gym and I work out hard. At least for me, I'm sure there's somebody out there who's further along. There's probably plenty of people who are out there further along than me who might look at my gym regimen and be like, oh, that's not even intense. But hey, for somebody who's, got a 38% BMI like myself, it's a lot. And now that's down from 40. It was 40%. And I'm working on getting in shape. And I've been doing that for the last couple of months. And that's been really vibrant, really good. But one of the things I do every day I finish my workout, I usually will end on the elliptical, or I'll end just taking my shower or whatever. I thank God for 3 things. I say, Father, thank you for grace, capability, and strength. It's a daily thing. And I'm really emotional about it because it's become a place of intimacy with the Lord. Is after that 3-part regimen, I thank God for grace, capability, and strength. And I've been coming into contact. I've been coming into this settling into this mindset of assessing capabilities instead of limitations, because I'm not accountable to my limitations. I'm accountable to my capabilities. I'm accountable for my capabilities. I'm accountable for what I do with what I do with what I have, not what I don't have, right? And so every day I'm like, God, show me what my capabilities are. And I will literally go into counting my capabilities. And if you followed me, it's called the I Can list. And I encourage you that if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling hopeless, if you're feeling helpless, to just do an I Can list. And that's simply a sheet of paper where you write the word I can and you finish the sentence until the page is full, period. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be, I can blink my eyes, I can walk, I could grab my keys, I can drive, I can think, I can pray, I can ask for help, I can use my saw. I have tools, and you could list off all your tools. I can cut things. I can, I have a pneumatic nailer. I can nail. I can measure. I can, whatever. It doesn't matter. Fill the page with I can, because remember, particularly if you are an American, you're an American, not an Americant. Okay. And so be a good American and remember that you can. I can. I can. That'll get you feeling unstuck in a minute. And then you take that sheet of paper that's filled with I can, and then you make a to-do list out of it. What's the 5 things off this list you're going to do today? Now. Go. And so I've been just, the pressure of this property has been absolutely overwhelming, and frankly has high capacity to be demoralizing. But just by the grace of God, I'm trying not to get into like religious self-effort talk and like let's go into like hustle mode and all this and like this freaking grind culture bullcrap. I'm not trying to get into that. It's by the grace of God I have learned to embrace. I don't even want to call it discipline, man, because it doesn't take long for it to feel like a joy. For me, that's my experience now. There's other people. I'm not saying I feel like doing this every single day, but I would say most days, especially after you establish a habit, it becomes a joy. But just over the course of this owning this property, it has shifted my mindset completely to where now it is harder for me to ask for help doing a construction project than it is for me to not. Whereas before it was the opposite. My default would be to ask for someone to come do this for me. Now I have to learn when to ask for help. I have to learn when it's time to ask for help. Whereas before, I had to learn to man up and show up and find my capability and find my strength. And that is what this house has done for me over the last few years. And this well situation is just, it has brought me to the limitation of my capabilities. I don't have the ability to pull that, that galvanized steel drop pipe up out of the ground. I would try if I thought it was possible. But I probably shouldn't. Like, this is how I injured my back, guys, the first time. And I'm actually well recovered because of the time in the gym I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of kettlebell stuff, a lot of back strengthening exercises, and it's been really good. But anyway. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so. If you could do me a favor, like the video and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post videos next. And if you would like to follow me on Facebook, go and hit follow. I'd love to have you. I plan to do more of these videos, and I plan to make them more and more encouraging as time goes on. Again, thank you for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I pray the Lord bless you. And I pray that this was an encouragement to you. Thanks.